Walang Sugat by Severino Reyes literally mean no wound or unwounded. It is an 1898 Tagalog language zarzuela written by the Filipino playwright Severino Reyes. Severino Reyes was a Filipino writer, playwright, and director of plays. He wrote 26 zarzuelas and 22 dramas in his career. He is known as the father of Tagalog plays and as the father of the zarzuelas. Walang Sugat was first published in 1898. It is all about the injustice Filipino suffered under Spanish colonial rule, including the oppression of the Filipino prisoners by Spanish friars for expressing their patriotism. Walang Sugat is one of the most and major popular zarzuelas in the Philippines. It was one of the plays considered too subversive by the American colonial authorities, and its author Reyes was imprisoned. Apart from political themes, Walang Sugat is also a love story. Towards the end of the Philippine Revolution, Tenyong leaves Julia to become a member of the Katipunan. In his absence, Julia is continuously pressured by Miguel, who is portrayed as an American. She succumbs when she stops receiving news from Tenyong. As Julia and Miguel are being wed, Tenyong arrives to interrupt the service and is dying of injuries sustained in combat. Tenyong mentions his dying wish to Julia, but the play features an unexpected twist that shows how Tenyong is able to outwit the persons separating from Julia, the love of his life. The critique that I use in the Walang Sugat by Severino Reyes is the Marxism and the critical theory. Marxist literary theories tend to focus on the representation of class conflict as well as the reinforcement of class distinction through the medium of literature. This theory doesn't only give us a way of understanding the relationship of economic production and literature, but the cultural production in the given context as well as in the story of Walang Sugat. So, Walang Sugat perfectly embodies this cultural reset and difference in a way that it is shown of how the poor Filipino people have suffered under the Spanish rule and how they revolted against them. Based on the story, the Spanish priest or the priests have punished Filipinos prisoners and were accused to be filibusterismos or Masons members, especially Tenyong's father, who is Kapitan Ingo. The priests tricked the prisoners visitors into thinking that they give respect to human rights even when they are doing the very opposite. Because of Kapitan Ingo's death, our revolution began, a giving rise to the patriotism, since the Philippines has also been held captive by the Spaniards for 300 years. From this context, we can see how Filipinos have greatly suffered under the worst circumstances. The difference between classes is emphasized too, seeing that Julia's mother prefers her to be wedded to a wealthy man, Miguel, rather than to her childhood sweetheart, who is Tenyong. But this conflict has been overcome because of their love for each other in a middle of war, betrayal, sacrifice, separation, and family contradiction. The life of Filipinos under Spanish rulers before has never been easy. They faced many struggles before finally achieving the sovereignty and freedom of our country has longed to have.